Jimmy's smile faded as Wine disappeared completely. He quickly adopted a serious expression and reached for his phone to call his guards. Did the jerk wake up? He is still unconscious, boss. If you want, we can take him to the doctor for treatment. He is also injured in his stomach already, and he isn't regaining consciousness. I think he is affected too much. No need for anything. Just throw him somewhere. But don't harm him as of now. Boss? He thought he misheard his boss order because he thought Jimin would kill Jungkook. That's why Jimin ordered him when Jimin got Jungkook. He told his guards to capture Jungkook in the cargo compartment of the ship. Jimin hung up the call, his face displaying frustration. He wanted to throw the phone but held back from throwing the phone and decided to calm himself by gently tapping his head quickly. His frustration was due to Wonyeon's concern for Jungkook. I just hate it when she's scared about Jungkook. He might get killed by me. I just don't like it. Why is she showing concern for him? With that kind of thing? Just one word and she didn't care about Jungkook. I would have already shot him over 100 times for what he's done to us. But she was getting tension for him. I had to leave him for as of now. But I can't let it continue. I'll make him show how is what we get paid. I know how to make next move to take whole situation up and down. He gritted his teeth while talking to himself in frustration. The guards of Jimin pulled Jungkook's body harshly and threw it onto the sand near the sea from the ship. They left Jungkook alone there. Jungkook was still unconscious from the effects of the gas. He didn't receive treatment for his injuries. And he also had scratches on his skin from the guards pulling him up halfway. It's good they didn't use their weapons on Jungkook. Actually, they prepared to torture Jungkook with their weapons. But Jimin's call reached them. Now Jungkook lay on the bedside, slowly awakening. His hand moved slowly, searching the sand as if expecting to find his wife beside him. But as he felt only the pain slipping through his fingers, he opened his eyes, realizing he was somewhere unfamiliar, surrounded by the sea sand. What is this place? Where is Warren? He asked confusedly. He tried to get up, but his injuries caused intense pain, making it difficult for him to move. Despite the pain, he forced himself to stand, his eyes searching anxiously for her presence. Warren, he called her name loudly. Then he felt a sharp pain in his injury as he pressed on it while trying to walk around to search for her. He groaned loudly, holding his injured side, and called her name again, forcefully bearing the pain as he walked around. Where are you, Warren? She called continuously, even though he couldn't see her anywhere. Why? Catching tears. Why does this keep happening? Why do I lose to Sila? Why do they leave me so quickly from my life since childhood? This has a deep meaning. He loved his mom and he lost her. Now he loves his wife and he lost her too. His tears wet his crushed cheeks as he realized she wasn't there. Losing his balance, he knelt down on the sand with heavy heart, crying like a child. He closed his face with his palm, overwhelmed with grief. I am sorry, Warren. I couldn't protect you this time. He cried alone, his heart heavy with pain. How can I get you back? He continued to cover his face, crying loudly, calling his wife's name repeatedly, as if hoping she could hear him and would come to him, despite knowing it's unlikely to happen. I need you, Wine. Where are you now? Meanwhile, Bella was walking there alone, holding Dave's wig in her little palm, silently lowering her head. Her house was near there, but she could hear a familiar voice crying and calling Wine's name with a crying tone. She stopped walking and looked around with her curious eyes while breathing fast to find who was there. When she turned her head towards the seaside, she saw Jungkook kneeling down, crying on his knees. She couldn't recognize him since his face was covered with his palms, but there her eyes flinched and she was recognized him. It wasn't none other than Jungkook. At the moment she hurriedly called his name, running towards him with tension evident in her movements. Hearing Bella's name, he raised his head, tears streaming down his face, and he saw Bella in distance, running towards him. Before he could wipe his tears, she stopped gripping his shoulders and helped him to stand up. Jungkook, she helped him stand, her own face saddened as she saw his tears. Jungkook, you are crying? She couldn't believe it. She had never seen Jungkook cry before. Hence her disbelief, he wiped his tears, tried to shake his head. What happened, Jungkook? Why do you have scratches? I heard you calling Boyan's name. Where is she? When she mentioned his wife, he burst into tears again, hugging her tightly, unable to stop his sobbing. Bella didn't know how to console Jungkook, unaware of what happened. She hugged him back, patting his back gently as if he was a child, trying him calm down. First come with me, let's go my home, she said, placing his hand on her shoulder, guiding him slowly while he managed to walk despite his painful injury. After treating his injury for a while, Bella sadly looked at him as he told her how he lost one. Listening to Jungkook, Bella's blood boiled as if she wanted to kill whoever attacked Jungkook and separated him from Why. But she wanted to calm Jungkook from his suffering and ease his tears first, so she chose to divert his attention. I know, Jungkook, you started developing feelings for her, and you began showing her special attention. She patted his shoulder, but he didn't seem to appreciate. He looked at her as if her gesture was useless. I'm so stupid, Bella. I lost her, he said deeply with pain. But what she told him after he said that eased his suffering a little. Maybe her dad was the one who attacked you and took his daughter with him. Really? Not sure, but there is a chance for that. Don't be down now. After you praying for your wife, you can find her anywhere. She motivated him as a good friend, not letting him stay sad. But that wasn't Kim. I might not have seen the person, but I heard his voice. That voice sounded like an adult like me, not as old as Kim. Bella furrowed her eyebrows as she pondered, then looked at him hesitatingly. If that wasn't Kim, then it must be someone who related to Why. Who was that? Whoever was that, I don't care. I can't let my wine stay with me. She can't live with others. She doesn't even know how to live properly. She is just like a kid. Bella was mesmerized by Jungkook's concern for wine. She thought if that wine had it, she might be touched too. You should rest, Jungkook. Your body needs to rest to heal your injury. I'll call Han to inquire about the details of the attack. I think it's better if we call Tay. What? Why Tay? I couldn't respond to Jungkook as my body hesitated. If Tay comes here, what if something goes wrong again because of me? But wine is important. I can't let Jungkook suffer like this. He deserves his wine. And I need to take care of Jungkook in this condition too. I can face Tay. I can handle my emotions and act like I didn't love him again. I convinced myself and gave my phone to Jungkook to call Tay's number. Kim still hadn't left his room, gripped by fear as he paced around, considering how to convey fortunity to him. Meanwhile, Jimin headed to wine after making a decision on his own. Wine, listen to me. Concerned about what I'm telling you now, he said, looking concerned as he spoke. Wine nodded hesitatingly, doubting his newfound confidence compared to before. Let's get married. She was stunned by what she had just heard. I know you would be stunned, but I'll marry you tomorrow. Be ready. With that, he was leaving without waiting, but she called out his name in tension, and he looked back at her as he turned to leave. I'm already married. Who cares about that? That's not even married to cause. He forcefully married you, that's what it says. Whatever it is, we should respect for the situation. What do you mean? If it's called a forced marriage, it doesn't make sense to call it a real marriage. His marriage to me under such circumstances lacks credibility. So what you are suggesting is your idea of marriage also meaningless, like wanting to marry me without considering my wishes. You didn't even ask about my preference. You made the decision by yourself without giving me a chance to express myself. He even asked me to marry him, but you didn't ask me even once. Jimin got angry when she compared him to Jungkook. He wanted to express his anger, but he closed his eyes, shocking to suppress it. Then he gave her a serious glance. Don't compare me to that guy. He isn't even worth comparing to me. Not even 1%. She swore by his tongue as he brushed his hair with his serious expression. But why should I ask you again? You already agreed to marry me too. That's why we were both supposed to get married once. Don't you remember that? Who said I agreed to marry you? She was confused, but Jimin responded sarcastically. It was serious. What type of question is that? Of course, your dad. He lied to you then. His mind was instantly blown. He hadn't even suspected it until now. What are you saying? If you are saying my marriage with Jungkook makes no sense, then your marriage with me that day would be equally meaningless if you had married me against my will. My dad commanded me many times to marry you. He even slapped me when I refused to marry you, not knowing. Jimmy's eyes were dim. But if he had married one without knowing this, then it would have also ruined both of their lives after marriage. But don't think I'm justifying what Jungkook did to me. I'm just not defending either of you here. I'm just letting you know that if you marry me, it would also be considering what Jungkook did to me. I just want my will to respect it here. I don't want to marry anyone. At that time, you didn't know who your groom was, so you didn't want to marry the groom. But you know me, so marrying me shouldn't bother you, why?